Wait a couple minutes for people to log on. Share this if you feel called to share it. Welcome to day 2. Say hello when you hop on. If you're watching a replay at some point, say replay. Hi, John. Hi, Amanda. What's up? I'm excited for day 2. So I intend that everyone that's meant to be here right now in this time and in this space, whether it's now or whether it's later watching, that they would just come and get what they need out of this. Hi, Vince. It's my intention right now to be a channel, and that whatever information is supposed to come through would come through. Hi, Dorothy. Thank you guys for being here. I'm so grateful. How did everybody do with their day 1? Did everybody start working on their lists? Let me know. Comment down below. Let me know if you started making your lists. Awesome. I love it. I love to hear that. Let's make our dreams happen. Let's live our dream lives. Everybody, there's more than enough abundance for everybody. So let's all tap into that. Let's just bring the whole team up. We'll all live our dream lives, and we'll just be super, super happy. Oh, I love that. You talked to your life coach about it. Yes, coaching is a great tool. I know that there's somebody in here that's in one of my coaching programs. Coaching is a great, great tool. Apply all the tools. That's the point of having the tools, right? So that we can apply them and use them. Okay, so let's get started. And when people are logging on, like I said, you can either say, hey, you're logging on and checking in, or if you're replaying, you can either hashtag replay or just let me know that you're replaying. So I intend to fill this space with Aquarian fire, and healing and Reiki. And I just intend, like I said, that anybody that's supposed to be watching would be watching with an open heart, and that whatever information you're supposed to get, that you would get out of this. So day 2, how to spot what's holding you back. This was really hard for me at first because it's kind of looking at your own shit, and we don't always want to hear it. We're not always ready to hear it, right? It can be a tough place to be, but if we're being really honest with ourselves, we can see what we are being held back. So look at your list if you have it, or if you haven't written it yet, write it, and then you go back through and look at each one of those desires or goals that you have. When you read that desire or goal, so go one by one, what excuses pop up in your head? Do that with each one. What excuses, what fears, what limiting beliefs hold you back from each one of those desires that you have? These are your blocks. You are your own worst enemy. No one has ever created a life that they desired from never changing. Change is hard. It can be hard. It doesn't have to be always, but a lot of times it's really hard, right? Especially if they're meaningful changes, right? I feel like the most meaningful changes can sometimes be the hardest changes that we ever make. Breaking habits, breaking old ways of being. It's ingrained in our head, right? These loops, these patterns, these subconscious beliefs that we've been playing since we were a kid that we're programmed to believe. Maybe it's something that our parents told us. Maybe it's something that we just grew up hearing. Whatever it is, it might not be yours, it might be yours, but you got to catch the loop. Because how can you bring awareness to it if you don't even know that you're doing it, right? Because it's easy to make excuses for anything. I can make excuses all day long and be manipulative about it and make them sound great. That's not the point. We have to get honest with ourselves, because you can talk yourself into something being one way or another all day long. Oh, well, I have this, I have that, and da-da-da-da-da, and yada, yada, yada. And like I said, I'm great at making them sound really good, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's an excuse, or it's a fear, or it's some type of limiting program belief that you keep playing on replay in a loop in your brain, and this is holding you back from the life that you desire. Some of the excuses that we use are ones that we have been using for so long. We so deeply believe them. They are in our belief system. Our thoughts, a belief is essentially just a thought that you think over and over again, and it becomes a belief. So when you have enough beliefs built up by thinking these thoughts over and over and over again on replay, then you can build up a belief system that's super limiting and that will hold you back, like I said, from creating this life that you truly desire. A really, 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 really great teacher that I enjoy, Dr. Bruce Lipton. He has a whole seminar that he's done. He's a microbiologist. It's called The Biology Belief. And he talks about how our body is essentially held together and made up by a bunch of beliefs. He says it much more scientifically and eloquently than I can say it. But I remember that was one of the first lectures that I listened to. It's 2 hours long. You can find it on YouTube. And I was dumbfounded. I was just like, this guy, what? And I had a mini spiritual awakening in that moment to just hear this scientist who didn't have really any type of belief system work his way into figuring out that everything that he thought to himself over and over was a belief system that he was creating for himself, and what's real and what's not real, right? So it can be hard to release these things because sometimes too, it's in the subconscious, right? We don't even aren't aware sometimes of these things that we're thinking. Sometimes it's so ingrained in our head that we've pushed it all the way to the back. And so it's no longer in the frontal cortex, our conscious thinking mind. It is all the way down through deep layers. And so that's why it's important to start to catch them. So that's why I say, go through your list, read it. As soon as you read it, what excuse pops up for you? Write that down. That's a block. That's a belief. That's something that's limiting you. So you have to start to call them out and bring awareness to them before you can even start to shift them or move them. Awareness is the first step. We as humans seek comfort. Oh, but this belief feels so safe and it feels real. And change is scary. I don't know what's on the other side of change. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if, right? We built up this program of unworthiness, a lot of us, right? Based off of these childhood loops and beliefs and traumas and whatever else, where it's like, I don't believe that maybe, what if I don't get better? What if it's not better than what I'm doing now? But this whole entire universe that's been created, God's green earth that we live on, is abundance. It is. It's everywhere you look if you choose to see it and if you choose to look at it. And once you start noticing it and bringing it into your life, that's when you're magnetizing yourself and bringing it towards you. So, like I said, maybe we're scared that we'll fail, or maybe we're also, on the flip side, intimidated of stepping into our full power. Whose is that one, right? I don't really know if I'll be able to handle it or manage. What if I succeed? That's kind of scary, right? What if you succeed at what you want to do? And then you wouldn't have these loops of dissatisfaction that we play in all realness, right? Because we'd be where we want to be. And then it's like, what do we look at? What if we're super successful? What if we have more responsibility and it's going to be harder and I'm not able to do it? Whatever it is, whatever that's coming up for you, whatever those limiting beliefs that you have placed for yourself, or fears or blocks or excuses, they are holding you back from the life that you desire. Anything can be an excuse. Like I said, an excuse can be worked through and a solution found. Any excuse, any excuse. If you can take examples from many people in life, right? You just have to find it. And then it's like so it's like, say you get a Honda, like a green Honda, right? And you've never really seen green Hondas around, but then once you get the green Honda, you start seeing them everywhere. Or it even happens when you like something, like, oh, I really like this. And then you start seeing it everywhere because you have already tapped into that universal frequency, that vibration. And so now it's coming to you, you're seeing it, right? And so if you call in people that have worked through the same excuses that you have, same fears that you have in similar circumstances, similar environments, situations, you can find an expander for anything. Anything. You just have to call it in and you just have to start noticing it. And then it's like, once you realize, wow, there's people that have been exactly where I'm at and have been able to do it. Why can't I do it too? Because we all have the capability of moving forward. It's just our belief system. What are our excuses? What are our fears? What is our belief system? Is it limiting? Is it holding us back? That's the only difference between us and another person. And of course, other people have socioeconomic factors and different things that they have to work in, but there is also people that work through those things as well. And you can look at the ones who've worked up the ladder. It's possible. It is possible. Scenario-based excuses. I hate them. What ifs get me all the time. I'm the best at making excuses for myself. Same. I'm really manipulative. I make it sound super good. Like, I dress it all up. I make it look fancy. And I will live with that all day unless I challenge myself and get really honest with myself, because I am the queen of manipulating my own mind into making it sound like it's something that's a good idea, or that, you know, I can sit back and take no action on, when in all actuality, I'm just limiting and holding myself back. So this is going to be our day 2. We're going to start to look for these excuses, these beliefs, and these fears that are holding us back from creating the life that we desire. What is your perspective? Wayne Dyer says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Most of life is perspective. It's about how you see through your lens. And when you're seeing through the eyes of motivation, gratitude, magnetism, and and of course there's tools to get you to that space. I'm not just telling you change the way that you're thinking, because this is a process, and that's okay. It's okay where you're at. Meet yourself where you're at. But the first step is to identify what those excuses, fears, and limiting beliefs are. Because like I said, if we don't bring any awareness to it, it can't begin to change. And we need to bring that awareness to it so it can start to do its thing. It's like that double slit experiment. So there's experiment, and they would observe I think it was like the atoms. Sometimes I'm not good at quoting certain information, but it's called the double slit experiment. So you can look it up, right? And when we look at matter, when we observe it, when it's being observed, it changes. It just does. So they did this experiment over and over again. So it's the same with your mind. It's the same with your actions. It's the same with your behavior. If you notice it and start to bring awareness to it, it will start to shift and it will start to change. Think about if you're doing stuff, a lot of times, as humans, not always, some people are working on very good character, but like sometimes when you do certain things, you'll kind of change the way you do it if someone's watching you. Not necessarily in a bad way either, like a sneaky way. It doesn't have to be that way, but it can be in a way that like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being watched. So I'm just going to do this a little bit differently. Maybe fear of judgment or, whatever else that it could be. So like just things change once we bring awareness to them, once it's being observed, once it's seen, once it's in the spotlight. We can work through, like I said, any solution or any excuses. There's a solution to be found. There is. If you're motivated enough and you believe it, and you keep working on that belief system and you keep spotting it out, there can be a solution to whatever it is that is affecting you and holding you back. Okay. Like I said, be brutally honest with yourself, because you're not tricking me. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing this live with you. You don't have to be honest with me. You can lie to me till you're blue in the face all day long. It's yourself that you have to be honest with, because only you, like I said at the beginning, you're your own worst enemy. You're the only one that's going to be holding you back at the end of the day. And it's up to you to hold yourself accountable, or to be honest with yourself and to call yourself out. So, you know, if you want the life of your dreams, if you want to make all your manifestations and your desires to come true, this is the first step. Call yourself out on your shit. All right, let's see here. So we talked about Dr. Bruce Lipton. He really, watch that. If you have time, it's 2 hours long, or break it up in chunks, but the biology of belief. Your belief system is going to be making up who you are and what you're projecting out into the universe. And we have to start chiseling away and changing that belief system in order to get from A to B, right? To be magnetized and to be attracting to us what we desire. Because if our belief system is jacked and we're just constantly like low self-worth, limiting beliefs, fears of doing anything new, fear of change, all these different things, then we're never going to be moving. And so we have to start checking those belief systems at the door. Our mind, like I said earlier too, the mind is made up of conscious thought, which we're aware of, and then our subconscious thought, and that which we're unaware of. So it's about getting into those loops that we've been playing for a very long time, but that are outdated and are no longer serving us anymore. Also, I don't know how many of you all adhere to this or know much about it. And if you want more information later, you can definitely reach out and ask me about it. But we're in the age of Aquarius. This is the time to manifest things. This is the time to bring things in your life. Things are moving so quickly. Energy is so high, and things are so much more amplified than they've ever been. We're like on a super magic high. Like everybody is being able to do things really quickly. So like this stuff, this work, if you begin it, it's just going to start flowing for you. You're just going to start bringing stuff to yourself. You bring the right teachers, the right people, attract the right things. You just need to start setting those intentions out there straight, and then start building up the belief system that you can do it. And like I said, through the rest of these days, this is 5 days, I'm going to give you more tools to how we can build up our arsenal and really make this happen, to change our belief systems and really start to move and flow with things. So how's everybody feeling? This is not what everyone wanted to hear, is it? I can guarantee you it's not, because it's not what I wanted to hear. Self-fulfilling prophecy, absolutely. Gotta believe it to achieve it. It is, and that's why I say, you know, it's these loops that's in there. Exactly, self-fulfilling prophecy, because when we're not being conscientious of what we're thinking about and we're just sitting there looping like a little tape recorder, then we are literally just fulfilling our own prophecy of self-deprecation, that we can't achieve anything that we want to achieve because we're just letting it go, and we don't want to bring awareness to it because maybe it's too painful to look at right now, or we think that, you know, because I can tell you, as someone who has done a lot of healing in my life, like I've been healing and on this journey of healing for the past 7 years, that it's been hard sometimes and it's been sticky, but I do not regret it. The freedom that comes on the other side of dealing with your shit is phenomenal. It is unlike anything else because you don't have anything holding you back. So it's like, it's just this feeling, it's amazing. And then you just want to keep going. I'm addicted now to healing, and the journey is never over, and there's many, many layers, but it's like at this point, I'm in there. We're doing this. And that's why I find it to be my purpose to help other people and assist them along this journey, because it's been something that's been so profound and transformational for me that there's just no reason not to share it. Seeing people suffer and hurt and go through some of the same things that I've been through, like I've definitely been through my fair share of shit. And now I have tools. And so, yes, I still get sad. And yes, I still, like I said, have healing to do. And there's still processes and layers that need to go through. But I have these tools, and it's never as bad as it used to be before, where I would just get into this like wallowing hole of self-pity and just really, would let myself wallow and go maybe weeks at a time of just being depressed or being high and then low and feeling like really good and then feeling really burnt out. And now it's like consistent and at least sustainable. And it's like, yeah, I had a sad day, but like I'm working through it and I'm letting myself feel my emotions, and I have work that I can like ask myself questions and do different things to like help me get to the next place. And also too, I've been working on this belief system for the past 7 years, and I'm going to give you those tools, like I said, later in the challenge, to where I'm just going to share my heart, everything that I've used to help me get from A to B. Get through the place where I just knew that, you know, things needed to change. I can't keep doing this to myself anymore. And I know there's greater than out there for me. Like, I'm seeing other people that I know in my life, and they're making stuff happen for them. What makes me any different? Why can't I be happy? Why can't I make things happen for me? Why can't I have what I want? And you can. That's why we're here, because I'm going to help you with those keys to get there. So I pulled a card. I used a different deck this time. We used the Shaman Wisdom card, and we got number 20, the Cougar. And of course it's super fitting, and I swear to God, I'm not pulling these before 5 minutes before I meet up with this thing. I'm not looking through them and picking out what cards would be the best. This is just the universe working and at play, right? So this Cougar, number 22, is a balancing number. Cougar, North, feminine, fire. I am Cougar. I give chase fully, expecting to win my prize. I am powerful and skillful. I am as at home on the rock ledges as in the green forests. I possess great cunning and intuition. I am a born leader, challenging the status quo as I circle my prey to discern the best method of attack. I think things out, and when I hone in, I know what I am doing, and I act with focused intent. I am clear and methodical. I am balanced strength and intuition. Sprinting into your life, I bring courage and strength. I am here to help you acknowledge your ability to lead and take charge in any situation. Leadership requires great insight. You are accountable for your actions. Lead with wisdom and reason. Be sure to think all things out and focus your intention before you jump in with all fours. I am genuine, I take charge, I am responsible, leadership. And this is just so perfect, what we were talking about with the first day. Getting clear, what is our clear intent, right? And then getting focused. Okay, what are my blocks? What are my fears? What are my limiting self-beliefs? What's holding me back? And then once we get that clear picture and we're focused and we know what we have to hone in on, and we know where we need to be honest, and we know where we need to shift and grow, we can create exactly what we want. We win the prize. We challenge the status quo. Basically, we get what we want. We think things out, we hone in. Yeah. Balance, strength, and intuition. Amazing, right? You can't make this shit up. I love it so much. So, I hope that that was helpful and useful for today. Tomorrow, it's going to be day 3. How to let go of fear and self-sabotage. So you definitely want to be here for that, because this is where we start to implement the tools that we need. I encourage you to go through your list tonight. Figure out where those limiting beliefs are. Figure out where your self-sabotaging behavior is, where your fears, where your excuses are. Excuses can be so tricky too. They can come in as like maybe your mother's voice, or maybe a therapist or a doctor or something like that, right? You gotta really listen and be like, oh, okay, no, I hear, and that's an excuse. Like I said, it might be your limiting beliefs, it might be someone else's that they passed on to you. Either way, you have to call that out. So we are gonna do a healing meditation. Daniel, if you wanna stay for that, this is gonna help to open us up. We're gonna do just like 5 minutes, if even that. We're gonna call on Reiki and Aquarian fire. We're gonna use our breath to center ourselves. And this is going to be a meditation and a healing energy source to help us identify and release the blocks that are holding us back from the life that we desire. So, everybody get to a settled place. Just settle in your heart center, in your heart space. Bring awareness there. This is one of the places that we create our desires, where we create what we want in life. And we're worthy of every single desire that we think of. We're worthy of it because we thought of it and because we exist. So our intention is just to move through and spot these blocks and these fears that are holding us back, these self-sabotaging behaviors, limiting beliefs. And we just intend to release and move through these blocks with ease as we go through this workshop. So as you're settling down, spine nice and tall, straight up, I invite you to take a deep breath with me. Inhale, exhale, and release. Let's take another deep breath in through the nose. And I want you to breathe into any spots in your body that might feel a little bit tense, that feels like you need to create space or movement. So let's breathe in together. Exhale, release. Breathe all that tension out, all that stagnancy. Let's do one more of those, breathing into any other places in your body that may need to be released. Exhale, releasing and settle. I call on Reiki and I call on the Aquarian fire, the holy fire. I act as a channel. And just to anybody that's watching now or later, I create a safe container, a safe space for all of us to experience this healing. And I send energy to each and every one of you to help open you up to change and shifts in your life, to transformation, to creating the life of your desire, to creating your dreams and your ultimate happiness. So let's just sit for a couple minutes in this healing space and allow the energy to do its job. Take a deep breath with me in through your nose. You can wiggle your fingers and toes and come back into the space. Thank you so much to everybody that joined and everybody that stayed for the meditation too and the healing sesh. Keep coming. You're only gonna get more tools, and Also, with your participation, you can win a 30-minute session with me. So that's fun too. I hope that today was, you're welcome, John McCarrick, no problem. You're welcome, Vincent, Vinny, Dorothy. I'm here to be of service to you guys. This is my purpose. So I hope that it's useful to you, and you can get some good vibes and good knowledge and good information out of all of this. Just sharing my experience with you. So I love you all, and I will check in here with you not next week, tomorrow. Probably going to be the same time tomorrow around 7 p.m. Thanks, Vin. And I will see you then. Ciao.